right. We are live. Make sure we are muted. All right. You ready, Dr. Swaby?
I am ready.
Amazing. I am so happy to have you. Let us
Thank you.
get all of this stuff ready. All right. Let's get us up on the stage. Hello.
Hi.
I'm so excited.
Yay.
So excited to have this conversation. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So much stuff to talk about. But first, I want to introduce you because, boy, your credentials are whew.
Cut it short.
Okay. So, Dr. Sandra Swaby is a cosmetic and regenerative medicine practitioner in Kingston, Jamaica. For those of you who don't know, that is home for me as well. So, very, very excited. Most folks are like, where does the accent come from? Here we go. All right. She runs a private practice in Kingston offering services, body sculpting, facelifts, PRP, stem cells, all of the things. Not only that, she began her career in public health and has previous experience with the CDC. She was a medical officer for St. Catherine and served on the Ministry of Health's board in Jamaica. This is just a little bit. She said to keep it brief, so I'm keeping it very, very brief here. And in her spare time, she is what, top 5 in Miss Universe Jamaica, right? Look at the glow. And also just recorded your TEDx, right? In New York.
Yes, that was amazing.
Yes. So glad to have you, Doc. As you know, Doc was one of the first people to reach out to me after seeing the videos that I posted on LinkedIn. And it made me smile from ear to ear. She said, "Girl, this is what people need to hear right now. This is what's going on in the world. And it's so important." So she wanted to come on, and I wanted to have her on and really just share some gems for healing and wellness in the workplace, but also just in everyday life, right? So often we are just going and going and going and not really knowing how to facilitate our health so that we can show up and be productive, right?
Correct.
So, starting us off, one of the conversations or one of the topics that you mentioned to me was cellular dysfunction. I had no idea that cells and cellular can be dysfunctional and whatnot. I know you said was it 90 days your cells regenerate? Or so tell us more about cellular dysfunction.
So your body, hello everyone. Kisses from Jamaica. So your body is this amazing structure that is composed in one of its smallest component, being a cell.
Mhm.
So each cell makes up an organ, a tissue. And so although we are made of head, arms, legs, body, down to our core, we're just cells put together.
Mhm.
And we are as strong as our weakest cells. Each cell contributes to keeping us healthy. We have a process called autophagy, where old cells die and
Mhm.
is taken up by the body and new cells are renewed. But if that process of cell death and cell renewal is not working well, that is when we have illnesses, all illnesses, including mental health illnesses, physical illnesses, all types of illness, because our cells become imbalanced. In
Okay.
particular, the engine of the cell, which is called the mitochondria.
Okay.
So every single emotional, physical, psychological, all illogical situations that happens to our body stems from cellular dysfunction.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just cells of a tiny organ. So, for example, if you're diabetic 1, it means that the cells of your islet cells, of your islet organ in your pancreas, those are the only ones that are malfunctioning. And on a bigger level, if you're diabetes 2, then every single cell in your body is literally dysfunctional because you're insulin resistant.
Hmm.
So we go to things like fibromyalgia, multimyeloma, things that are huge, but still boils down to the fact that there's a cellular dysfunction.
Okay, so all of the fancy words, and it sounds like the
Oh my
root of
God.
all potential disease is really based off of your cells functioning well, which can lead
Yes,
to all sorts of diseases, and including anxiety, which is
correct,
one that we talked about. And then the mitochondria is what helps produce energy and give you vitality. So,
correct.
what are some causes that of cellular dysfunction, because it sounds like it's something we can't control? Can we control that?
We can absolutely control it.
Okay.
There are some causes that are very challenging to control or even impossible to control. For example, genetic mutations, congenital malformations. So you may have genes that may not have been expressed or may have been overexpressed or under, and you're born a particular way.
Okay.
So as a baby, you have this illness. But if your genetic code was wired correctly, and then you have postpartum, I would say insults, whether it's from a toxin or from childhood traumas or from physical traumas, whatever it was, then the process of disease begins. So, for
Okay.
example, an illness like, let's say, lupus.
Hmm.
Research is showing that lupus begins 20 years before it's even diagnosed. The same
Okay.
thing with diabetes too. Starts 15 years before it's diagnosed. So the cells, which is the tiniest part of our organs, they start to get dysfunctional, in batches until so many of them are dysfunctional, we can no longer perform or
Right.
we can no longer function. And then we become disease. We become somebody with a disease. So that in the case of being born with that malformations or that dysfunction, that's difficult to control. But other than that, most things that happens after you are born can, and I believe even more of them are going to have solutions, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, yes. This is what I want to talk about, because I've never heard of healing on a cellular level. As you know, I'm working on my gut health and working on my physical health. And I know you were saying stuff such as like processed foods, which, I think people are aware of, right? Trying to reduce the amount of sugar, but not even understanding that just not being mobile, we think that inactivity or sitting down is just a physical thing. I just thought that means that I'm not going to lose weight or get muscle. But you were saying that even inactivity is a part of your cellular development as well.
Absolutely. Our cells function on movement. Not only is movement a big part of how we fuel ourselves, but it's a big part of how we detoxify our body. Because the lymphatic system, which is a stagnant system, it doesn't have valves and doesn't pulsate, that goes throughout our body. Our fascia system are two important systems that do not function well if we're not mobile. So, for example, if you have lymphatic buildup in your neck, for example, if you don't drain that physically
Hmm.
or dry brush it or exercise or move, that congestion happens and your neck actually get bigger. A lot of clients come to me and they think they're fat. I'm like, no, you just have a lot of lymphatic congestion. And lymphatic congestion, yeah, and we dry brush them and they lose 5 pounds just by being dry brushed. They
Hmm.
go to the bathroom like 6, 7 times during the hour because the body starts to remove all of the toxins that have been bottled up. So
Hmm.
movement is important to detoxify your body because you don't want toxins to weigh down your cells.
Right.
Let's talk about something like your fascia. Your fascia is that thin sheet that encompasses every micro inch of your body. That fascia is alive. It has, structures that respond to movement. So if you're not moving, the structures become brittle and
Hmm.
hard and die, and you can get stiff bones. You can get, toxins build up in the fascia as well. So movement is extremely important. Movement is also important to support production of hormones like endorphins that helps to keep us contented, happy.
Okay.
Endorphins that help to keep our heart healthy, our brain healthy. So movement is super important on so much level. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to run a marathon. We're
Right.
talking about sometimes just making sure that you're all stretched out
Right.
and that you open up the channels to drain your lymphatic fluid into the lymph nodes.
So we should
The
invest in the standing desk. We should invest in doing a little movement when we're working, taking breaks to just like stand up and get moving.
Yeah, and there's some people who that have vibration plates in their office.
Oh, what's that?
A vibration plate is what you stand on to drain your lymphatics. So you're sitting 8, 10 hours per day, but your lymphatics need to be drained.
Okay.
There's some people 2 or 3 times a day they stand on a vibration plate. They turn it on and it vibrates. You see them, it vibrates. And what it
Wow.
does, it
Well, you're gonna
vibrates.
have to send us the link so we can put it in the chat for
Yeah, there are a
people.
ton of them on Amazon. It's so important. And
Wow.
you get drained, your lymphatic get clean, you drink a glass of water and you get back to work.
Okay.
Right? So there are ways in which you can also, stimulate lymphatic growth actually if you can't exercise for that day. The
Right.
other thing we have to recognize is that our cells are alive. They live
Mm-hmm.
and they function the best with eating foods that are also alive.
Okay.
So processed foods are highly dead.
Okay.
When they process food, the process of processing takes away the life from the food,
Okay.
whether it's through adding enzymes, taking away the life part, overcooking, processing to away with artificial substances like plastics. There are foods that we eat that have plastics in them,
Hmm.
that have heavy metals in them. And those foods that are processed are not alive. So our cells aren't able to absorb it. So we have to focus on eating foods that are alive. So foods we're talking about green leafy vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, fermented foods, ground provisions that's not overcooked. And if you're a meat eater, then certain types of meat like steaks that are not too overcooked, like a medium rare, or so
Okay.
you have to feed your body foods that the cells will be able to utilize to go to your mitochondria so that your mitochondria can produce energy. So that's the importance of eating health. I mean, you're going to lose weight on it. Yeah,
Right.
because you're going to have to cut out sugar because sugar is now proven to be the number one cause of cancer,
Hmm.
not toxin sugar.
Wow.
So eating a healthy diet is not only about losing weight, it's about helping your cells to function well.
And now we're talking about not only losing weight but helping ourselves to function, but also the mindset that it puts us in too, right? Because you're saying that how we think influences ourselves, and to kind of ground us a little bit, right? Like we're talking about wellness in the workplace. We're talking about things that we're not thinking about that can affect even how we show up at work. And the mindset piece of it is huge because there were over 300,000 women, that black women, that were,
Mm.
laid off this year, quarter. It just seems like it just happened yesterday. And it's easy to just be inactive. That was me. It's easy to think about the processed foods because that's comforting in the moment. And we just want to be couch potatoes for a little bit because we feel like we deserve it. Like we just got
Yeah.
hurt and traumatized, and we feel like we deserve it. So to all of the women, or to everyone who's just looking for our next, like, let's talk about how that mindset plays into it as well. I know you were talking a little bit about that.
The mind is one of the most powerful ways to influence your health. Your cells listen to what you think,
Hmm.
and your cells take instructions from the thoughts that you have in your mind, which is why deep breathing and taking a break is so important. And I'm not saying meditation, because meditation is not easy to do. I'm
Okay.
talking about taking a 60-second break and taking a deep breath in and out.
Hmm.
Just do that 3 times. Like, nobody's telling you to meditate. Start with listening to that breath 3 times. Because putting on pause thoughts that don't serve you will make way for thoughts that do serve you. And there's a system in our brains called the reticular activating system. It's like a crossroads between the two hemispheres of our brain. Our thoughts determine the neurotransmission that goes across from one side of the brain to the other. And if we're thinking thoughts like, I am not enough.
Hmm.
I can't do this. This is too much. Um, you know, when I was 6 years old, this happened to me that made me feel worthless. I'm worthless. I'll never be
Right.
successful. Like, you have to be careful. I'm exhausted. I hate the world. Just those thoughts, although you might be feeling exhausted at the moment you hate the world, once you say, okay, I hate the world, then your body's like, okay, well, I don't want to be a part of it then. So the
Hmm.
body subconscious starts to take you out. And
Yeah.
one of the best ways to take you out is make you ill, make you unwell, make you lose
Right.
motivation to get up and go and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So your thoughts are extremely important. And one of the best ways to sort of hone your thoughts is deep breathing and having a conversation with yourself, whether out loud or in your mind, about who exactly you are. I'm a child of God. I'm beautiful. I can do this. I'm strong. And
Hmm.
I love to have that conversation with the creator too. I mean, some people
Yeah.
may not think about the creator, but that conversation with my creator is, God, I do not know exactly what to do in this moment, but I am going to be still and listen for your shout out. I'm going to
Yeah.
listen for your
Yeah.
guidance. And that release, if you're able to do that in the power of your creator, can also help. The other thing is to understand that you're
Before
never
you move
alone.
on to the
Sorry.
next thing,
Yeah.
that part right there is the foundation of, I think, this movement and how it started for me, right? Because I didn't take that moment. I didn't take that
Mm.
moment to say, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what you have planned. And again, speaking positivity over an uncertain situation to say, I may not know what's happening right now, but I'm believing that better is coming, or better is here, or blessings are running after me and chasing after me. And it's easy to say that when things are good, and when your situation is bad, it takes extra effort to sit in that. So when I was sharing those videos, it was sort of a revelation for me. Some people were like, hey Ron, are you okay, are you crashing out? But it was actually a beautiful moment for me to say these things out loud, because I needed to watch my video back talking to me, right? That was my form, looking at the video, talking to it, watching it back, replaying it, having that conversation, and realizing, okay, this is what you didn't deal with. Not looking so much for the answer, but just acknowledging like where you are in the present.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the most, I would say, one of the most amazing things I've had to learn, or that I've learned, I mean, I'm 53 years old in a couple weeks, is that I'm not perfect. Like, really understanding that I'm a human being
Yeah.
has been such a darn relief.
That you can make
No,
mistakes. Yeah.
yeah, like, I'm a human. Like, I'm gonna mess up. I'm not gonna have enough time to do this. I won't be able to serve everybody who wants me to serve them. I am not able to be everything to everyone. Like I'm just a human being. And so I give myself a lot of grace, and I try to extend that grace to other people too. But there are days when I'm feeling petty, like I just want to take a break.
Right.
Like I don't want to answer my phone today because I just need to rest.
Right.
And speaking about rest, it's so funny. I don't know if I told you about this, but I got a new my doctor recommended it.
Fitbit.
No, it's not Fitbit. It's
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's a sensor
Okay.
that senses, because with sleep and my guts and all of that, my cells need to recharge. When
Okay.
my body says my cells are gonna be recharging, so there's a sensor that picks up my recharge.
Hmm.
And she's like, okay, let's put this sensor on. It's like, like you're monitoring your blood sugar.
Uh-huh.
Let's put this sensor on you to see exactly how you're recharging. I'm like, I'm recharging pretty well. Like I get up tired, but who doesn't wake up tired?
Right.
And the first day I put it on, when I woke up the next morning, your recharge is supposed to be 80%. My recharge was at 32%.
Of a full eight
Listen,
hours of sleep?
girl, if my husband wasn't around me, I'd just bawl. Cause because he didn't even know I had the sensor on. Because I didn't want to break down in front of this.
How is that
Listen,
possible?
because I'm not resting enough. I'm not recharging enough. And
Wow.
what happened is that it depends on what I eat. So I've been watching it every morning. It depends on what I eat. So if I eat a lot of, like, if I eat carbs just before going to bed, my body, because I'm menopausal, everything goes wrong. Sorry, knock on wood. I'm great. My body has a dysregulation of sugar in the night, like all of
Okay.
us.
Okay.
So we're waking up at 2 o'clock when the sugar levels or whatever is happening to us spikes our
Mm.
cortisol. So instead of falling deeper into sleep, which is REM, between 1:30 and 2:30, we're actually waking up.
Yeah, wow. So who would have
Yeah,
thought that digestion is part of how we feel restful? So that's why we
huge,
should be what they call it,
huge.
intermittent fasting, stopping to eat at certain time for wow. Okay.
Or have some kefir or sauerkraut or Greek yogurt with dinner, because they have probiotics.
And that helps to do
And that,
what
because
more?
your probiotics in your gut is going to help to to regulate traffic of how much sugar gets pushed into your system. And of course there are supplements that you can help to do that, but everything is so linked. Like
Wow.
I'm now obsessed with getting my body battery up to 80. Like my husband is like, oh my God, another thing to obsess about. But how am I alive?
Right. 32%. Sheesh.
Girl, this morning, like at the end of the day today, it was at 21. Like I'm operating on fuels, but I'm cute.
But that's insane, Doc, because if you're at 21, I'm just thinking about what I'm at.
It's so fascinating, Kimona. I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna tell you what it is. You don't know what your battery levels are until one day you can't get up, until one day you start to have panic attacks, and you're
Yeah.
like, why am I feel like I'm gonna die? Oh, you feel like you're gonna die because your cells, the batteries in your cells have been run down, and your cells are like, I sort of feel like I'm gonna die too.
Yeah, that's my
Like it's not you,
story.
it's your cells. They're not charged. They're not charged up with energy to say, all right, let me look at this situation. Let me think about it. Ooh, I have enough energy to settle my brain and look at the big picture. Like, you're doing well, girl. No, your cells are just so
Whew.
tired.
Wow.
Your
Yeah.
cells are exhausted.
And we don't even know to think like that. That's why I'm so grateful for this conversation because we don't know to think on the cellular level. Like when I landed in the hospital, I don't know. I didn't know why. I just thought I'm having a heart attack. Like it feels like I'm
Yeah,
having a heart attack. And when they went through all the imagery and all the things and it was nothing, and they said,
normal.
oh, what's the stress level? What's been going on at home and what's been happening? They're like, yeah, your body is responding to stress and anxiety. And
Ah.
And we talk about stress being relative, right? What's stressful for me may not be what's stressful for you. It could be a walk in the park for you. And I thought it was a walk in the park for me, right? I'm on layoff number 3. I'm doing the business. I'm raising my daughter. I'm going to work, and I'm thinking, okay, this is the third one. I'm basically the champ of
Right.
restructuring in corporate, right? And your body is saying, no, sis, you're gonna need to sit down after this
But
one.
there's another thing, KK. By the way, Kevona is my niece, everybody. There's another thing that that we have to sort of figure out as women of color is that it's okay to break the heck down. It's okay to scream. It's okay to bawl and say, listen, I'm not doing well today.
Yeah,
I'm not doing well today. Hey, Jill, can we talk? I'm not doing well today.
yeah,
Yes, sis. Tell me what's up. Hobby, I'm not doing well. I don't feel like being strong today. I need somebody to hug me. I need a shoulder. Can you
yeah,
be that for me?
yeah,
Like, girl, you don't have to be strong every day.
yeah.
Like, ask for help. I tell my staff that all the time. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, the worst you're going to hear is no. And if you hear no, that doesn't mean that that person may not want to help you. It just means that that person may not have the capacity at the time
Right,
to help themselves and help you. And
right,
that's okay because they have to choose themselves.
right,
Because if they don't choose themselves, how they going to help you the next time you need a shoulder?
right,
You understand? It's
right,
okay to say, I'm not doing well today. I'm not doing well today. What do you need, Kevana? What do you need me to do?
right.
Hopefully you have that type of feedback. And you can train your family and friends to understand that when you reach out for help, that's what you need.
Yeah, that is this, that's what I would like. That's my hope, that's my prayer with having these conversations and these lives, is that we can normalize even that showing up in the workplace as well. Even being able to say to your boss, and say, hey, today I need this, because even if you don't say because, but I need this from you today. Or hey, I'm gonna move my meetings to Friday, so I'm gonna be off camera, and not feeling like we're going to get punished because of it, not feeling that we're going to be looked as weak or less than or incapable. And I started a new role, and that's sort of the things I'm implementing now in my real life everyday journey. And I'm finding that it was scarier as a thought than it is in reality. People actually appreciate the communication. They appreciate the boundary or the awareness of what you need and what you're going to give that day or that week. So LinkedIn is like this land of perfection where we have to always be polished and poised and package our pain and our stress. Like we just can never show it because we don't want to not be seen as credible or not be seen as someone that is able to get the job done. And I want to bring some humanity to those places because that's literally the cause of a lot of people's stress. It's our work. We spend more time at work than we do anywhere else.
Listen, LinkedIn is a hot mess. And I'm going to tell you what. Listen, LinkedIn is a hot mess. Like when I was going to do this live, right? I said, let me update. I haven't been on LinkedIn in 10 years, okay? And but I had to update it for this live. So when I updated my profile, like where I was working, etc., etc., I had so many people. Like what year I did this? People, sorry, I had so many people congratulating me on becoming a cosmetic surgeon. I was like, that was 15 years ago. That was 15 years ago. Like, didn't you read that it was 2000? You know what I mean? So
I'm
I was
telling
getting
you.
congratulations on being a surgeon. I'm like, LinkedIn is a hot mess.
It's funny that you said that, right? Because when I posted the videos that I
I
posted as
think
well.
I think your voice went out, Kimona.
Oh,
Sorry.
can you hear me now?
Is it me?
I think it's you. You may have to come off and come back in if your sound is gone. Let's do
I
a,
think probably I need to sign out and sign back
yeah, I
again
think
because I'm not
so.
hearing you.
Okay, 1 second. We back. Can you
I'm
hear?
still not hearing you. I'm so sorry. Let's reconnect. Hi
Okay, so
everybody, let's reconnect. That's like this is what happened earlier when we were testing.
come out of it.
So do I thumbs up to reconnect or no?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna reconnect. Sorry guys.
While she's reconnecting, thank you for everyone who's joining. If you saw my eyes going back and forth, it's me trying to look at the comments and the views. We're having a conversation about wellness in the workplace and some of the things that we just didn't even know was happening. She back? You back? Yay. Okay. Here. So let me
Yes.
remove this one. All right. Good
Yes.
to go. Perfect. So was just thanking everyone who is joining. I see a lot of us are on Instagram joining in. So wanted to thank everyone for the comments and for tuning in and just sort of recentering everyone who's joining to say that we're talking about wellness in the workplace and also just the conversations are not being had around cellular levels. I didn't even know to have that conversation or to think that way until you shared it with me. So very, very grateful. And so to get us back on track, because we could talk about LinkedIn all the time, because I posted the videos on LinkedIn and man, I thought through it. I was like, I'm gonna make it short because no one has the attention span. And I'm gonna add captions so you can understand where I'm going through. And it resonated with some and it won't for others, which is fine. But we only have a couple of minutes left, and I want to leave with some actionable tips for folks so that when they leave here, they know how can they reduce stress or manage stress. We talked about activity, movement, vibration pads, talk about processed foods, our mindset, how we talk to ourselves, how we talk about ourselves. I deserve better. How do I love how I look? I love process I'm in. What's a good vitamin or supplement or something that we can take that might be able to help reduce stress? Is there anything that we could take?
So the first thing I'd recommend is that everybody becomes a regular drink of chamomile tea.
Okay. Why
Chamomile
chamomile?
tea, because chamomile literally decreases cortisol.
Okay. The caffeine
Cham-
one or the non-caffeine one, or does it matter?
well, chamomile is never caffeinated.
Okay.
People add caffeine to it,
Got it.
but organic chamomile is caffeine free,
Okay.
right? And you can have a cup in the morning, a cup in the night. The other thing is there's something called lemon balm, which I have in drops
Okay.
it's in my handbag. I do
Okay.
like a dropper full like 3, 4 times a day. Lemon
And it's
balm
called
also. Lemon
lemon.
balm.
Okay. Okay.
LEMONBALM.
Okay.
Right? The other thing that goes a long way to controlling stress is to keep the pH of our bodies in a certain range.
Hmm.
And lemon juice water in the morning helps that.
Okay.
And apple cider water at night help that. So
Okay.
just before you go to bed, a tablespoon of apple cider juice, organic apple cider, in 8 ounces of water. Go to bed. It helps to regulate all your enzymes, etc. at night. Right? There are other supplements that I love, like ashwagandha.
I just started taking that at
Yeah,
nighttime. It says supposed to help you mellow out as well.
yeah.
Yes.
Ashwagandha is also an excellent one. Zinc at night.
Okay.
And the most important one that you can ever take is magnesium glycinate. And
Okay.
I'm going to say magnesium glycinate because not all magnesium are created equal.
Okay.
Magnesium glycinate is absorbed in the body about 82% of what you take. Other
Okay.
forms of magnesium are absorbed like 17, 32%, like magnesium citrate, magnesium oxide. So magnesium glycinate also helps with mood regulation, sleep, cortisol levels, function of your body, detoxing, because the only time your body heals is when you're asleep.
Okay.
If you are not sleeping, your body is not healing.
Okay.
And you can have a cellular dysfunction to the level where your body goes crazy out of whack. So a lot of my clients are putting on weight and they don't know why, because they're eating the same way. The
Okay.
reason why they're putting on weight is because their cortisol levels are very high. And so their body is always in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, your body puts on fat, even if you drink a cup of water,
Hmm. Wow.
right? Ginger and turmeric. That's what I'm having now.
Okay.
Ginger
So
and
when
turmeric.
you were talking about the magnesium glycinate,
Glycinate. Right.
and the zinc, because I know when I take zinc, it makes me dizzy. I have to eat something with zinc because I will have to lie down. And then we're talking about the stopping to eat at a certain point before you go to bed. So how do I balance when I eat versus when I take these supplements?
So most of all of the supplements that I just mentioned, you have with your evening meal.
Okay.
So it's magnesium glycinate, zinc. The next one is B6, B6,
Okay.
B6, P5P, and vitamin D along with vitamin K1.
And I take the omega 3s too, right?
The omega 3s. You can
But
take
that
that
I
at
do
in
in
the
the
night
morning. Does it matter
or
if
in the
it's
morning,
okay?
or that's fine.
Okay.
So research shows that up to 60% of any given population is vitamin D deficient.
Mm,
And so and persons of color, a lot of persons of color have a more difficult time absorbing vitamin D than Caucasians. So we have to take more vitamin D than probably our Caucasian counterparts.
okay.
So
Okay.
these are excellent supplements that you can use before you go to bed. Another thing is to regulate the amount of blue light that impacts you.
Blue
So
light. Oh,
blue,
like from your phone.
like your phone and all the lights in our offices.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All
Okay.
of that light decreases the production of melatonin, blue light.
Which helps us go to sleep.
It helps us go to sleep. If we
Okay.
don't have melatonin in our bodies, we do not go to sleep. So
Okay.
nowadays, like by 6 o'clock, I'm down by sundown.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the lights in my house is off. You
Right.
see, there's a red light behind me.
Mm-hmm.
The most of the lights in my house is red because it
Okay.
doesn't have blue light, because it interrupts my sleep.
Huh.
My glasses blocks blue light. So
Okay.
all I have is light and I'm looking at the phone. It blocks blue light. And I sleep way, way better
Wow.
because I don't have blue light interrupting my melanin production,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
And then I heard, and it might have been from your husband who said that we're talking about getting a lot of sleep, right? But then I heard if you get 9 hours of sleep, that means you're depressed. So it's like you have to make
It's
the
all
most of your
relative.
8 hours.
No, it's relative. It's all
Okay.
relative. Your body, like right now, I'm like 10 hours is good. But it depends. No, not everybody. There are persons that need 9 hours, 9 hours, that's not depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody that does 9 hours are depressed, although persons who are depressed tend to be in bed a lot longer. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that they're resting, that doesn't mean that
Right.
they're
Right.
sleeping.
Right.
It means that their motivation hormones are not kicking in. So they're just lying in bed. And more likely they're gonna fall asleep. But that does not necessarily mean that they are detoxifying and that they're recharging.
Right.
So it depends. If you're not depressed and you just need 9 hours to recharge, and that's what you need.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, that's helpful because all of these tips that we're talking about, I want to make sure that they land as well because I'm saying to myself, I think I get exactly 8. I use the sleep tracker on the iPhone. So it'll show me what, and I don't like to wear my watch to sleep because it's uncomfortable. Like I just feel like I'm moving around, but
Yeah.
at least I can track it on the phone. So we're talking about eating or having our last meal earlier so that our body isn't doing a lot in the digestion phase, so we can
And
actually.
if you can do a little walk after, if you have a treadmill in your house, walk for 10 minutes after you eat.
Okay, okay,
That's
helping
good
to
too.
speed up the digestion. And then the omega 3s, the magnesium glycinate, the zinc, PCP,
P5P.
P5P. Okay, I'll make sure I put all this
Yeah.
down. So then what about, I heard that there's like a digestive enzyme, like a powder solution that you can take in your liquid with dinner. Does that help as well?
It depends. There are supplements that helps with digestion, like Tutka. I think I told you about Tutka. I'm not sure.
Mm,
Is a digestive enzyme that your body actually produces it, but they actually produce it in a supplement.
okay.
And probiotic powder
Okay.
helps. And I do a lot of probiotics, and my gut have really been doing well in the
Okay.
last year or so. And those things can actually help with digestion. Or you can just have some kefir or some sauerkraut before you go to bed, that helps too.
Can't get this with the sauerkraut. I can't do the
I
sauerkraut.
know, I know. It takes getting used to, girl.
I know. I'm doing a whole bunch of other stuff. I'll do the okra water. I'll do that, but I can't do the sauerkraut.
That's okay.
Okay. So thank you for sharing all of these tips
Yes.
with us. Like this is super helpful. Managing stress, managing anxiety. There's so much going on in the world with folks, whether they just got laid off, whether they're trying to just got a new job. Like there's so many things happening. And you just did your TEDx, and
Yay!
I would love for us to wrap on your actions that you can take. We talked about keeping hydrated, but you have an extra special note that comes from the heart. So I would love for you to share what you talked about there with us as we get ready to close.
So in my TEDx, I spoke about the 5 F's of healing. First one being friends. Ensure that your friends are your biggest cheerleaders, that you're on the same wavelength, that your friends are actually compassionate towards you, not competing with you.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that not everybody that has family is number two, sorry, but understanding that not everyone with your DNA is family. There are
Mm,
persons that have your DNA that you have to take off the bus.
right.
Third one is your finances. Keep an eye on your finances. Money doesn't make you happy, but it does help to pay your bills. And so making sure that you have both passive and active income is a very excellent mindset to have. For having faith. Faith is one of the biggest thing. Not only faith in yourself, but faith in your creator,
Yeah.
and faith in your destiny, that everything is working out for your good.
Yeah.
And last but not least, fitness. If your body is not healthy, it's very difficult to get your mind healthy.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Um, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you are a
Appreciate you having
travel
me.
mommy. You are all over the world. So I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for sharing
Thank
your
you.
4 Fs. I'll put the link to your TEDx in the link in the bio, and I'll also put the link to your practice.
Yeah.
Share a little bit more about what you're doing over there in Jamaica with the spa and the practice. So plug in
Yes.
yourself a little bit there.
So, cosmetic surgery is my life, my love. I focus on natural looking body enhancement, BBLs, liposuction, facelift. Try to go as minimally invasive, non-surgical as possible, and just helping men and women to look and feel great. Harmony Health Cosmetic Clinic and Zen Oasis Wellness Spa.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye,
And
everybody.
we will talk soon.
We will. We will. Bye.